What's going on, guys? Welcome to That Movie Guy. My name is Matt. Today, we're going to be talking about the Schmoedown Spectacular 2. Now, for those who don't know what the Schmoedown is, it's movie trivia mixed with WWE. It's on Collider. Check it out. I guarantee you guys are going to have a fun time watching these matches because they are really fun and they put a lot of work into it. It is like watching an event on YouTube, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, we're going to be talking about the matches, which will contain the Manager Bowl, the Intergeekdom Championship, the Star Wars title, a stipulation match, the Singles Championship, and then the Team Championship. So I'm going to run through each one of these. I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of detail as to what it is. I'm going to kind of explain what I think about each, opponent and character and player, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win, and we'll see if I'm right or not. It debuts this Friday. The season ended last Tuesday with, Nerds Watch and Blofeld's Cat. That was the final match. I'm sure that's going to have something going into this for sure. So basically, here we go. We're going to start. I don't know what order these are in, okay? I haven't looked at the runtime for each match, so I don't know. I don't know which one takes place when. So here are my thoughts. And then, of course, I'm going to make a video after this event takes place, kind of giving you a recap of what it is and if I was right on my predictions. It's a 3-part freaking video. It's going to be like 6 hours of my life. I can't wait for it. I just can't wait. Hopefully, I don't work on Friday so I can watch these. I didn't get to take the day off because I forgot it was on a Friday. Anyway, here we go. So the first match I want to talk about is the Manager Bowl, which is Tom Dagnino, Jay Washington, Emma Fyffe, and Ricky Haber going up against each other. Winner of this gets any player of their choosing in their faction a #1 contenders match, which I think is really, really cool. As far as something that's thrown into it. Now, these guys don't scream champion to me. Maybe Intergeekdom, maybe, but not just regular singles where everything can happen as far as genres and stuff. You can get any genre at any time, So, to me, none of these guys scream a champion in that aspect. Maybe Intergeekdom with a couple of them, but definitely not singles. But to me, Tom, I want to talk about each player, kind of give you guys a little insight as far as what I think about them, kind of what you can expect, what you probably won't expect, yada, yada, yada. So, with Tom Dagnino, I'm going to start with him. He's a very, very, very interesting character. I love his character. He's the villain of the league, but he has these plans that somehow work out. He had a plan to get Team Patriots on his side, and it worked out. And then Ken Napzok joining the Lions then was something he planned for a long time. He was literally saying this for, I believe, 2-3 months, saying that he had something that was going to turn this league on its head. And I love that. I do love seeing Ken on the Lions stand, and the fact that it was because of Tom Dagnino, I think is even better. And then you have Jay Washington. Jay Washington, he's the urban gladiator. He's the best smack talker in the league, and I love that as well. He is the manager of the Misfits, which is Brian Chandler and Stacey Howard. And he's done a really good job with them. Obviously they've gone pretty far with him, kind of being their manager, which beforehand they weren't going as far. Now they're proving that they're dominant players. Brian Chandler beating Clark Wolf in the tournament. That was something not a lot of people saw happening, and it happened. And then you have Stacey Howard, who beat Baby Carrot, and nobody thought that was happening. And then you had her going up against the Crusher, which is going to be hard to win that match either way. So that was cool. And then you have Ricky Haber, who even has said he's not that good of a player. And he's right. He's not that good of a player, but he's a fun cat to have around. He's a cool cat, and I love it. Because every match I watch and every match I bet you watch, when he's involved, you're having a great time. He just talks out of his ass, and I love it. He's not that good of an opponent, but he's going to add something fun to this match, and that's something I really like. And he obviously is the manager of Critically Acclaimed, which is Whitney Seibold, and of course the Beast, William Bibiani. And then you have Emma Fyffe, who is a new manager, which she hasn't revealed who she's managing, but I have an idea of who she's managing, and I'll give you my prediction in a little bit. But I do have an idea at least. I don't know if it's true, but I do kind of have an idea who she's going to be managing. But she's somebody who's proven she can compete, but she doesn't scream as a champ. She just can't pull together in the end, as far as what I see. So, as far as what I see, as well as that, like I said, with them, and then Tom Dagnino, I forgot to mention, you just never know what you're going to get with Tom. He could pull in 23 points and almost win a match that everybody had him counted out on, and then he might get a point or two in a match. You just never know what you get. So, I'm going to kind of run down kind of as the match goes on, who I think is going to get eliminated, then the next, then the next. And I'm going to start out, I do think the first person getting eliminated is Ricky Hayberg. I do think he gets eliminated pretty early in the match. And then after that, it really could go either way. It just depends how Tom plays. It just depends what, subject Emma gets on the wheel, assuming that she's around when the wheel comes, which she will be. But, you just never know. But I'm going to say this. I do think that Emma will be eliminated next. I really do. I just have a feeling Tom is going to bring his A game, and I think that's enough to get Emma, knocked out next. And then we have Jay versus Tom. And for some reason, I think the winner of this match, who is going to win the Manager Bowl, will be Tom Dagnino. I do think that's going to happen. I know I am definitely going to be, in the minority, but I do think Tom Dagnino is going to win the Manager Bowl. And I think he's going to say JTE gets a number one contenders match. I do think he's going to do that. If not him, then I would say Mark Andrico, I think, is somebody he's going to throw in. And I do believe it's for singles. I don't know if it's Intergeekdom, because if it is Intergeekdom, you can definitely count on Mark Andrico. If it's any that he can choose, he's going to choose Mark Andrico. If not, I do think it's JT. So that's my predictions on the Manager Bowl. Now, before I go into the next match, I want to predict who I think Emma is going to be the manager of. And it comes down to two people. And there's reasons why I think so. And I'll tell you why I think them. One, and I think this is the most obvious one that everybody's saying. I think it's Rachel Cushing, the Crusher. Now, why do I think it's Rachel Cushing, the Crusher, as we all call her? This is why. Ken left. He went to the Lions Den. She still wants to compete. She still wants to be, on her own now. That's what she wants to do. She's proven she can win titles. I do think Emma could be her manager. And she could very well be. These two could be under Emma's, little umbrella. Maybe she's forming the Justice League and you have the Legion of Doom, if you want to kind of put into DC terms. So I think Rachel is one, and the other person, and I don't know if what people are, predicting. I don't know if this is someone that people are predicting per se. I think somebody who very well could be in it as somebody Emma is managing is Dan Murrell. Now, why do I think Dan Murrell? Christian Harloff has said for a while, ever since Dan retired, Christian has said that he was going to get Dan back into the league. And I do think this has something to do with it. I do think there's something in me saying that Dan Murrell's back and Emma will be managing him, and maybe Rachel as well. Maybe they're a new team. You never know. So next one I want to talk about is the Intergeekdom match, which is Hector Navarro versus Jason Justice Inman. Hector Navarro has proven he's a very, very, very tough competitor. He knows his stuff. He 100% does know his things. He's very, very talented when it comes to the Intergeekdom. But you got Jason Inman, who has proven he is a beast when it comes to this as well. He really is a beast. And to me, this is something to think about. Who do I think is going to win and why? Now, if Marvel is on the wheel, you damn well know that Hector Navarro will win the belt. There's no way, because he's going to sweep it. And if there's anything Marvel, he gets it right. However, if he gets something that he's not strong in, then that could really hurt him. Jason Inman, he has a lot of strengths. He has the comic book aspect down. He has Star Trek down. I think he has Star Wars as well. I could be wrong. But he has a lot of these things down. I have to go back and watch some of the matches so I know more of his weaknesses and more of his strengths. But, there's that. I am predicting that Hector Navarro does win this match. I just think that Hector is a little stronger in all of the categories than Jason is. But Jason is a beast, and it is going down to the final question. You can count on that. The next match I'm going to talk about is the Stimulation match, which is top 10 versus team action. Now, how this match is going to go is simply this. If top 10 wins, then they get a number one contenders match. But if top 10 loses, then, team action will get a title shot, because they could have had a title shot. They won a title shot. They don't want to play top 10. They beat top 10. They don't want to play them again because they beat top 10. That's what they're saying. But if they win, not only do they get a title shot, but top 10 has to be apart. They have to split up for a year. And I think that's kind of a really cool match. Now, this is something that can go either way. If top team action gets spinner's choice or, action as the category on the wheel, top 10 is probably going to lose that match. That's how team action wins their matches. They get spinner's choice, they get, action as a category, action adventure. So if they get these, team action is going to win. However, if you take that off, if you take off spinner's choice and opponent's choice, then I do think this match could end up very, very different. I am predicting top 10 does beat team action, and they will get a number 1 contenders match, which I do think top 10 will win and get a championship match, and I do think they get the belts back. You can count on that as well. Then after that, we get the Star Wars match. I'm going to fly through these because, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. Plus, memory is memory. So, next match, Star Wars match. This became a very interesting match after this past Tuesday. You have Sam Witwer, who you recognize from the Force Unleashed video games. He does some voice work. He's an actor. He does all that stuff. And he is a juggernaut in the Star Wars knowledge. But he's going up against another juggernaut in the Star Wars knowledge field. He's going up against Ken Knapsack, who joined the Lion's Den and became the villain in this match. This became something very interesting because Ken has always been that nice guy. I don't know who he is now. I don't know yet. I think he's going to be an anti-hero in a sense. He does not seem like the villain. He does not. He seems like he wants to be the winner. He thinks it's his time. That's what he's saying. And I like this thing. I like this Ken Knapsack. Now, going into this match, this could be very, very scary for both competitors because they do know so much stuff. Either it's coming down to the end, which I do think is a possibility, or it's going to be a blowout. To me, because Ken has proven he knows all his stuff, but he hasn't played in a while. He might be rusty. I think that's something to look in. The last time he played was in April, and that was at Star Wars Celebration Orlando. Sam Witwer, he just played. He just had a match, and then he gets to play in Spectacular. And Sam has proven he's a monster. He did not get a question wrong until round 2. He's that good. I do think this match is going to be won by Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer will get the belt. He will win the Star Wars belt. And I think after that, the Lion's Den is going to kick Ken Knapsack out of the Lion's Den. I think Tom is going to kick him out because he lost. And he's going to say, we don't want losers here. And then you're going to have that romantic thing that they put in between Grace and Ken. I think Grace is going to say on camera, we're done. I think that's going to happen. I could be wrong. I could just be evil. But I do think if Ken loses, he's out of the Lion's Den. If he wins, he's still in. But I do think Sam is going to win, and that's going to result in Ken being kicked out, and Rachel will come back to him. She'll take him back because she believes they're still good in him. So there you go. There's those matches. And then we got 2 more matches. We got the 2 big matches coming up. And the first one, I'm going to talk about the singles match. The singles championship, which is very, very interesting because one competitor is in both of these final 2 matches. You have, once the commissioner, Christian Harloff, going up against Sam Levine. Now, before today, like when it was first starting at Collider, when the Schmoedown was really kind of expanding its horizons and becoming more of that WWE aspect thrown in, when it joined Collider. It started with Campia versus Merle on the Collider page, but we all know it started before then. The first official match that you saw, I believe, was Ken Knapsack versus, I believe it was Bonnie Somerville. I could be wrong. It was Bonnie Somerville, I believe. That was the first match. And you have Christian Harloff now playing to keep his belt against Sam Levine. And I've been saying, like I said, back at that time, Sam Levine was going to win a championship. He was going to win the singles. This was before the teams obviously started in their geekdom. I said for the longest time, I think Sam is going to win. And maybe it was because of the game, for those of you who watch the show and see how great Sam Levine is at that game. But that's what I've been predicting. So Harloff knows his stuff, obviously. But Levine has proven that he has just exploded with knowledge. He has become a monster lately. Not only is he in this one, but he's also in the team title match. I do think in the end, Harloff will return as commissioner because Sam Levine is going to beat Christian Harloff. Now let's go to the team match. You have above the line, which is obviously Sam Levine, and then Drew McWeeny, who has proven they are a dominant force. They are going up against what is the greatest team to have ever assembled. Team Patriots. They are undefeated, undisputed champs. Nobody's ever beaten them. They've gotten close. But JT has become clutch in moments, and so was Jeff Snyder. And they're going at it. This is a monster. This is the behemoth. And I do think, even though Team Patriots is so good, they know about everything. They have a couple weaknesses. I think that their time has ran out. I do think Above the Line is going to win. They just are on a hot streak. They just look so good and so dominant right now. Sam Levine and Drew McWeeny are the perfect team. Everything that one doesn't know, the other knows. And they know very similar things. This is a monster. I think this is going to come down to the final round. But in the end, I do think that the Patriots' time has ended. Above the Line is taking a belt. So, to quickly run down my predictions on who I think is going to win. It is going to be Tom Dagnino in the Manageable, Hector Navarro in the Inner Geekdom, Sam Witwer in the Star Wars match, and I think Ken is going to be kicked out of the Alliance then as a result. I think that Top 10 is going to win in the Simulation match and get their number 1 contenders match. I think that Sam Levine is going to win the singles, and then he will become the first person to have the singles and team belt, because Above the Line will win the team championship. So those are my predictions. Comment below. Tell me if I'm insane or not. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you have as the champion? Let me know that down below. If you're new, subscribe here. I would love to have you here. I do movie reviews here and a bunch of other things. The channel is going to explode and expand to new horizons soon, and you will see when in about a month or two. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Matt. Make sure you watch my recap after the Spectacular. And if I'm off, I will have one uploaded in between every match. So take care.